would like to enhance, promote, and grow the thing.
Okay,
Yeah.
good.
Hi, my name is Colin, and I'm a student of U of T. I study mathematics application in finance, and I also have tried some startups. I opened the online shop and some non-for-profit organizations. Yeah.
Okay, good.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Louise. I am MBA. I own a business online travel agency, and I am continuing my studies of taking information systems business analysis. I joined around the day, and I am currently I am involved with 3 projects that are IT related. So I am combining tourism and IT as a business. So the reason why I came here, so I wanted to know, and I wanted to get the techniques in just only a few seconds. In just, as you said, few minutes, I could immediately sell or talk about my product and who I am, and what I could pivot to the public, and what is the opportunity that I could get here.
Okay, great.
Thank you.
Hi everyone, I'm Alvin. I also graduated from UT. Well, not in your faculty, I'm actually from applied science and engineering. I was a data scientist, and I also founded my own company about 2 years ago when I was doing a full-time data scientist job. So initially, my startup was doing consulting for some of my friends or other small-sized companies, and then we tried to build our own product also in the travel industry. So our goal is to help travelers to make their own itineraries in a very efficient way.
I'll have to collaborate with you.
Yeah, you already found partners already.
And we basically finished the basic functionalities. You can use it.
API?
No, it's a website.
Yeah,
So you
API
can go-
integration.
Sure. Go itripia.com, itripia.com. So.
Good. How about you?
Hello everyone, my name is Harshal Shah and I am from Centennial College doing post-graduation in Global Business Management.
Are you thinking about a startup or a venture?
Not right now because I am currently a student. So
Well, it's a good time to, okay.
there's still a long way to think for that.
Okay, okay.
Hi everyone, my name is Floyd Sampson. I'm also from Centennial College. This is like one of the course that we have just for us to learn about like how networking would be. At the same time, like I also like was interested in this one because I'm thinking of starting up like an events management business, yeah, in events. I'm a graduate of marketing management. And I've had this kind of experience in the Philippines though, because I'm from the Philippines. So I think this would be like a real good opportunity for me since learning business pitches. I still have like 6 more months before I graduate, but I think this is the right time for me to start as well.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Events are good actually, and but we don't have enough events in the city, and so you may be already like scratching into a market that has a lot of opportunity. So you're definitely on the right track.
Okay.
Hi, my name is Robin, and currently I'm pursuing global business management from same Centennial College. And I'm currently new to Canada, so I'm finding opportunities for myself.
Okay. Well, Canada, there's a lot of opportunity in Canada. We are also a small market, but the trick is to find value and build it. So we are a build nation. So if you look for opportunities that are already, a lot of people come to Canada, sometimes they get frustrated because the opportunities that exist are already either they're taken or the opportunity doesn't exist. But the build side of things it's like the unseen market out there. So entrepreneurship is the way to go.
Hi, my name is Hong, and I just graduated from mechanical engineering in my master. And then together with my friends, we try to bring our products and projects into the market. Yeah.
Okay, what kind of product is it?
One of them is a 3D scanner. Yeah.
You already have the prototype ready, and
Yeah, we already have all the software, hardware, all the stuff.
so you're looking to take it to the next level right now.
Yeah, into the market.
Okay, great.
Yeah, if you want to do some demo, you can just bring it here for next year.
Sure. Actually, my friend will come here soon.
Oh, okay.
Just as traffic.
Okay, oh yeah.
Yeah. We love to show more people about
Yeah.
everybody's new stuff.
Yeah, we have had some interesting demos. There was a bike, what was that, a bike lock Eddie brought to last month.
Yeah.
We have had some interesting products that
Yeah.
entrepreneurs brought in here, and it was pretty enterprising. So, well, it's great to have you guys here. Well, and I mean, I'm building new products and services, so that's really good. And here's a story to inspire you. Now, personal finance to us, I mean, to a lot of us, it means like we keep on spending until the collection agency comes at our door. And if we don't have the money to pay them back, I mean, we go to jail, right? So, and then that's how we learn how to manage our finances better. But that was the market before Mint they came. I mean, and what they did was they put together a whole range of tools on the same website where people could go and do many different kind of analytics for their own personal financial situation and make very good, very smart decisions on their spending. So it's proactive. So from being someone like me to being proactive with your finances, and that's the value in their business. And this is their pitch. You can see the pitch what they have. You spend the majority of your life working for your money, but you know how your money works for you. So this was their pitch, and they have done pretty well. They got several rounds of funding, and they eventually got acquired. So this story is really inspiring for entrepreneurs in the sense how you can go from an idea, solving a problem, to an actual business. So are you guys psyched now? Do you guys feel excited after listening to this story? So we'll look at some characteristics of pitches. Now here is a pretty loose definition of a pitch. Now when you talk pitch, now I see a couple of keywords. One is the idea, then the second is the value proposition. The idea and the value proposition, how you put them together. Do you like this definition of pitch? What do you think about it? What are your thoughts on this? Does it make sense? To approach our code, it could be a person, it could be a company, it could be someone from the outside.
Could you explain it more further? What do you mean? And how is it? Why are you telling me this?
Okay, that's a good question. And as we go further, we'll see why it's relevant and what are they made of. So here, why should I care about a pitch? And that's exactly what your question is. Now a pitch, we are talking about a business pitch. And when we are starting out with business, on a new business, it often makes sense to have some kind of partnership in terms of money, because you don't want to put all your money. You would probably invest some of your money, but to take the business to scale, you would need some help there. So that's where the pitch comes into picture. And you want to engage investors. That's very important. You want to promote your philosophy or your idea of the business. You want to build relationships. Now, pitch is also an opportunity to engage, the audience. As you go and talk to other people, you talk about your business. So even if you are not actually doing a business, you are promoting the idea of, doing a business. So that itself has some value in it. And then you want to inspire innovation. Now that's another unseen kind of, it's a hidden value there. So does it make sense now? Is it a little better? Okay, so let's go on to the next slide. So what does a good pitch do? Now, it's very important to convey our business idea in a meaningful way. And the more you think about it, the more it will make sense to you. So we want to convey our business proposition in a concise and meaningful way. Now you also want to delight investors. Now when you go and meet with investors and when you give your pitch, I mean there's an opportunity to delight that person, the investor. So there's that side to it. And then, well, obviously you want to promote your business and you want to engage the audience. Any thoughts? So what do you guys think about it?
Just have a look.
Yeah.
Just to be honest, these are straightforward. Everything of the details that you said could be found in the internet.
Right.
What I'm looking for, how you convey, why you say you need to delight, but how?
Exactly.
Do you have techniques, the way you say, the way you write, the way you think? Because these are all flaws for me.
These are characteristics. Once we learn the characteristics, we'll see how to convey the our business idea in a meaningful way. We'll have a couple of exercises. So now we are learning the characteristics. So if it's making sense to you, right? In the sense you agree with the characteristics. And if you think there are some characteristics that I may have missed there, yeah, feel free to kind of share that info.
Volume.
Definitely valuable.
Volume. What is the volume? That's important because if you say something, you give products to a certain person, even it is not yet your customers. What is the value that they could get? Because it's a chain reaction. What I mean is that chain reaction, it's a continuing usage. So if you will not target the value today,
I get it. Yeah, I understand what you're saying. And here, the keyword here is the narrative. The narrative is it's like a story, and the story has your business idea. It also has a value proposition. It has what your product is about. So there's a lot. It's a keyword that has a lot of meaning in it, and we'll see about it as we go further. I think you wanted to say something. Okay. Now, when you're pitching to investors, you would have very little time, and typically it's less than 2 minutes. So you'd have to be very, you'd have to distill everything very effectively. So you have 2 minutes, and if you're writing it, it should be less than 1 page. And the handout that you have, that's pretty much 1 page, and we'll have a look at it. By the way, have you guys done pitches? I think some of you already have products, right? Products and services. Have you had any experience with pitching? Have you written pitches?
formal, but not formal, but not in a large audience.
Nothing yet, okay.
Yeah, so it's a one-on-one, and it's subject for a need, and sometimes if they require more explanations, and then more than 2 minutes.
Yeah, I get it. Yeah, but well, yeah. There's usually a follow-up. Now you have that very small window to engage investors. It's less than 2 minutes, and that will pretty much determine whether you can get your foot in the door. And that's why it's very important to get your pitch kind of in a meaningful way, and that's concise. And we'll get to it in a while. Now, how do I craft a pitch? Now, my suggestion is you start with a business plan, your whole business idea, your business philosophy, and you start working backwards. Now, your business plan will be a document. It could range from 20 pages to several hundreds of pages. So that's pretty much your business plan. And then you come you take that business plan and come down to one page. And I'm not talking of an executive summary here, but I'm talking of a one-page business plan. And this is what you have in your handout. Now when you come down to one page, now you have to shrink it further. And with this information, you craft the narrative. And here, one important lesson here is less is more. We should be able to convey a lot of meaning with very less information. So I think, is the worldview clear? Is the philosophy clear? It makes sense? You guys agree?
Yeah, I think what I'm looking into as well is when is the appropriate time for you to like do your pitch? Is there like a specific like action plan you have to do for you to be able to do your pitch to someone you meet or to this?
That's a great question, and there are many businesses that have completely now a pitch comes into picture if you are meeting with investors, you are trying to raise money. So that's one very important reason why you make pitches. But if you're already bootstrapping and you're achieving some level of success, and maybe you don't have to do a pitch, you can go for a grant, or you can go for other ways of raising money. So a pitch is relevant when you are meeting with investors. That is usually the timing is you want to have now investors. Now that's another area of discussion, and a lot of investors will not meet with you unless you have a minimum viable product. That's very important. So I think there's a lot of misunderstanding in the sense if there's a pitching contest, you write a pitch and there is no actual product there. So that's a no-go. I would say don't do that. Have your product first, build your business model around it, and then start crafting the pitch. And then that will give you an opportunity to, it will make things very efficient for you. In the sense you have your pitch, there are investor meetings, like you can go to meetups, you can go to events where you can meet investors, and pretty much you will have less than 1 minute. And you can meet with a lot of investors in a single day, and that's when your pitch will help you get your foot in the door.
Okay.
So you're saying that it is advantage that you have already the products rather than your idea, which is more perfect timing to go with investors with a product or
a minimum viable product. Now, if you're already an established entrepreneur, let's say you have already developed several products and they have been successful, maybe your idea will have some value. So, but if you're starting out new, if you're a new entrepreneur, it's a must, I would say, to have a minimum viable product. I mean, it's a must, yeah. And nowadays, I mean, it's quite intense in the sense it's very competitive, and everybody wants to be an entrepreneur. It's the whole the entrepreneurship worldview is gaining more popularity among the millennials. So it makes sense to have. It's become competitive, that's what I mean to say. And when you have a product, it will give you a lot more advantage rather than somebody who has a very good idea. Now, I have had some very good ideas, and they have not got an audience. And these are very big ideas, I mean, I can't talk about it, but ideas generally, I mean, they will not get, they will not move on to the next round. Like
until you have some kind of a product or an example to show the investor.
Because when I heard about pitch, it's usually like spoken, right? But does it necessarily need to be like like a spoken word, or it's okay to do it as well on writing? Because sometimes like when we do networking on social media or online, we can like directly talk to someone, right? Like we can also do that in writing.
Yeah, the pitch worldview is emerging. It's quite recent, and generally it means you're talking.
Oh.
Like it's a verbal pitch, but the idea is also the written pitch is also gaining kind of there is some level of acceptance, in the sense a lot of people would want to know, what your product or service is in a more detailed way, rather than having to read your entire business plan. So this idea is gaining acceptance, and it could use a one page. I mean, I definitely promote the one page written page, because it's a little more in detail than your verbal communication, and then it also conveys a lot of information.
So when you mentioned the word business plan, so is that same as business pitch?
Well, the pitch, when we are saying the pitch, the business pitch, it's your, it has to do with the time frame, right? If I give you 1 minute and say you give me a business pitch, so that becomes your kind of the pitch that we are talking about. But if I give you an hour, you might want to elaborate on the pitch, and that becomes a business plan.
Okay.
So yeah, it depends on the context, I would say, and use it appropriately depending on the kind of situation. If you have an investor who is
with the time.
Well, that's one key constraint.
Yeah. But when we talk about the word business plan, I think it can be also refer to something that to be used within your company or within your group.
Yes. For I see what you're saying. The scenario is different. If you're already a business, you would still have a business plan for your operations, right? And if you're a startup, you have a slightly different business plan. The context is slightly different, But here, I think our context is startups and new businesses.
Okay.
Now here's what I have done for my business now. Technical communication, I like that space. That space is completely disorganized, that's what I feel. It's not organized. And now the digital environment, the online environment has opened up the space to communicate, people communication, there's people communication, I'm sure you guys are familiar with fake news and all this kind of stuff, right? So there is no standardization when it comes to communication, people to people to business, business to people, business to people, business to business. So at some point in time, the information overload will get so heavy that we will have to find ways to, make our communication meaningful. And that's how our friends data scientists, they help make sense of data, right? I think there are many applications, AI applications, where they actually take data from, many of these messaging and communication systems like Twitter, and you put an AI machine learning tool on top of it just to make sense of what the actual message is. That's the kind of environment we are operating in. So I like that space. So this is how I made my pitch. Digi is the digital sphere, and fair, it means to have fun doing things, and to have fun doing things that's in an online environment. So I'm looking at providing these services on the cloud, and it should be fun while doing it. And narrative is the story. The story should be meaningful. And then the space is technical communication. So that's my pitch. That's my, less than 1 minute pitch. So do you think it's meaningful?
It sounds like taglines.
Taglines or idioms. Taglines or idiomatic expressions.
Okay.
But it does sound like a tagline, yeah. Like it does speaks more about what your business is.
Yeah.
It talks more about what you're aiming for as well, like narrative for the soul.
Right.
So it speaks mostly what you value.
Okay.
As a business.
Okay.
And Digifaire speaks about what kind of medium you're going to be using.
Exactly. Yeah, it's the online medium.
Yeah.
And also, we want to have fun while working online. And you have the technical communication. That's the spectrum of services.
Yeah.
So it's possible, I guess.
Yeah, and then like without us doing like without you putting out all those bullets as to what your products and services is, that kind of tagline like already speaks for everything that you're doing for, like what your business is.
Okay. Okay.
So this is, yeah, you're telling us this is sample of this.
This is my pitch.
Yeah, of course. As your sample, so we will take it as a sample, but you're saying that it's good and this is how it should be. And I see different colors on it, and I see also different message you're saying that about you're talking about digital, you're talking about fun, which is
Okay.
being open to the public and everywhere or anything. It's fun.
Okay.
And then
I'll break it down.
your narrative is also giving a value. My question, and also the way your communication. My question is, normally in a corporate
Right.
and or even a small business,
Right.
sometimes the traditional way of defining a business is only a simple thing,
Right.
straight,
Right.
and sometimes what does the word says already explain one single meaning, but for here we are looking different meanings.
Well, I don't think different meanings, but we have several different dimensions, I would say, and I'd like to clarify it. Nandeji, and what we are doing is we are building the cloud. So when you go on, the cloud is not yet ready yet. So when you go there, this pretty much means the cloud. So we are going to provide the services on the cloud. And the fair, this means doing things. So we are doing things on the cloud, and it also means it's an expression of having fun. So we should be we are having fun providing the services on the cloud. Okay. So I think there's no confusion there, right? Is there? We have the medium, the channel, how we are providing the service, and we also want to say that we are having fun doing it.
Yes, I understand.
Okay.
I understand you, but if you are not saying to us,
Right.
I do not understand because this is a business card, right?
Yeah. Maybe I should have put a business card. You should ignore the other things.
Yeah, because what I understand is a business card.
Okay. I think you're seeing it in a different. You're seeing. Just ignore the business other details and just look
because
at.
you put the phone number and you put the email number.
I was
It says
feeling
in
lazy.
business
I was
card.
feeling lazy.
Oh, okay, now I get you. That's why when I look at this business card, normally business card is just only one meaning, the name and the company, and then you will immediately explain by yourself what they're doing. For example, a business card and you have a logo of Apple, you know it, Apple. But for here, you're saying that you're saying that you are offering and doing a digital. You have to have fun using a DigiCloud and to make it value for everyone, and then with an open communication. So that's what I said. But if you didn't tell me,
Okay.
and I am looking into it as a business card, why?
Okay. Well, that's a good point. Maybe there's some scope of confusion if you start the first time. Maybe. Yeah, I think now technical communication, that's a space we are looking at. We are not looking at web copy or writing for the web. That's a different area. Now we are looking at only technical communication. And by technical communication, I mean if you have a product or service, you pretty much have an offer document, your product specifications. So that's technical communication for you, and you would have either you do it yourself or you hire an expert from the industry who will do it for you. So we want to provide that service, the technical communication service. Yeah, it's all the technical communication. It starts with a white paper. Let's say if you want to build a new product, you start with an idea or a white paper, and then when your product is on the market, you have a specifications and you have a product document. So you're pretty much liable for your product. So this document has to be it has to be written very right?
Detail.
Yeah, it has to be. It has to have good information in there. So that's the space we are looking at.
But this is how we should put it. There's a name, there is a code. If you will have to present it with the investors, that's what I am looking for.
Yeah, no, this I'm not presenting to investors. I'm on. Yeah, I'm meeting with investors, and I think I'm receiving kind of mixed signals in the sense. Well, I have had some good kind of.
Okay.
Yeah.
So we will not use the same presentation when we do this the pitch.
Like if you want to promote my business, go for it. Use it.
Because you have the name. My concern is if, let's say, okay, 1 minute that they have given to me, what shall I say to my one-page slide?
Yeah.
What are the information and
You would-
what should it
you
look
would
like?
have everything. You would have everything except the name here. Now I'm providing. This is my 1 minute page. I'm providing technical communication services on the cloud, and we are having fun doing it. And this service will cover your entire spectrum of technical communication needs, starting from white paper to a product specification.
Do we need design?
So that's my 1 minute. I think I timed it correctly.
Yes. Do we need design in doing it?
We'll do a couple of pitches now. We'll do a couple of pitches. I think we'll do your pitch maybe.
No, I mean, do we need design? Like, do you have this design colored or something? That's what my concern.
Well, colors, they convey meaning. So it's like a visual aid. You could make your presentation colorful if it's a written one. I mean, you could make it colorful. My personal view is you should make use of all tools you have to convey meaning. So that gives you a little more advantage. But I think a lot of, like, if you go and talk to people in the industry, like generally, I mean, people print cards in bulk. Like, you get deals for $10, you can print 1,000 cards, and they have their templates, and you just fill in your details. And then you give your cards, and then nothing happens, and you print another 1,000. So this is an opportunity for you to kind of think what you're doing and how you're providing value, because there's an exchange of information, right? And it's a great opportunity to learn more about the other person and interact with the other person. And even if you're not doing a business, it's an interaction of creation, right? And it could be like you may remember, you may have 1,000 cards in your at home, and there are some cards probably you like more than others, right? So your goal is to become one of those.
You are right. That's why I cannot, move to the next steps, because there might be information which I do not know, that the color and something would affect attracting customers, getting to my business. You know what I mean?
I think I'm getting what you're saying. It's a different area of discussion, and the reason I'm not going into it is, well, expression, like the whole communication space is like when you think communication, like there's what you call computer science, like quantum field. Yeah, quantum physics, where you are transmitting information instantaneously. What I'm thinking is directly imprinting on your mind, and that's one way, and so there's a whole spectrum of communication, in the sense, and your goal is to convey your worldview as concisely and meaningfully as possible to the other person. So you can use colors, you can use words, you can use symbols, you can use expressions, you can use metaphors. It's a very big space. It's a very big space. We could talk all day about it. Maybe in your travel industry, probably. I mean, there are expressions. Maybe you go to certain places, you can just use one word, and people will. Like if I say Loch Ness monster, what comes to mind? Have you heard of Loch Ness monster? I think Scotland,
Scotland, dinosaurs,
yeah.
the lake.
Yeah. So there are expressions, symbols, and metaphors. So there's a whole range of tools. We'll not go into it, but I would suggest optimize it in a way that useful to you. Okay,
So I
now,
have a quick question. You mentioned about having fun when people using your service.
right.
I'm curious about how do you define having fun?
Having fun that's a very good question, and we are still building the cloud, and what is very important to us is does this make sense? Workflow? No. Workflow, I'll elaborate a little bit on it. Now, the customer journey, and workflow, they're very important in your product design. When you design a product, you have to make sure that the workflow is as efficient as possible, so that the customer has a good experience. Now, in technical communication, I'll give you an example. There are some industries. Energy industry is one, then product is one, and then also software development is one. And probably when you build have you documented your
We come all together, not only workflow.
Definitely. I get your point. This is also
The
important.
UX,
This is also
integration,
important. Then there is
the data, the source, these are all important.
This is probably also one of the very important factors for our
Yes,
customer.
of course.
Because if our services burn a hole in their pocket, they will not be happy, right? However good the workflow is. So yeah, the whole
Your workflow is service.
yeah. So the whole business model.
Efficient, it's short turnaround.
It should make sense.
Yeah, the short turnaround, and then it's a service. Have customers happy with the cost and with the service. But what I'm pointing at is, what about the people working at the bank? What about as I said, what about your employees who works? Are they also having fun?
Yeah, that's a good point, and we are not ready yet. So yeah,
Management.
Yeah.
we'll go into it. Now let's come to the one-page business page, and let's have a volunteer. Did you have a chance to go through all the? I think the copy is probably some of the lines are not there. So are you able to see? Now this is the page. This will right at the end. Are you able to see the 10 elements here, the 10 blocks? Did you have a chance to quickly read?
Some ones recall.
Yeah, I think the photocopy machine, the ink is kind of, the library, the ink is not there. So I think
Don't remember attraction?
traction, transition, and growth. Traction, transition, and growth. It means how we will scale the business.
We didn't have that.
Okay. So how about volunteers? Now I think many of you have businesses, right? All of you have thought about, well, some of you have businesses and some of you are thinking about businesses. So let's have a volunteer, and together we will write a pitch for his or her business. Okay. Yeah. We'll do it together.
What is that called?
Okay, let's go. Okay, we'll do one thing. Let's go over this 10 elements very quickly. Now here is the overview. What's your story? What we have been talking about all the time, right? And here, now the first element here, this is the opportunity. What's the opportunity? Then this is the problem. What problem are you trying to solve? And the solution. What is your aha moment? Then you're talking of growth. How are you going to scale your business? Then we're talking of the market. What does a typical customer look like? What's her journey? What's her experience journey?
Could you read the small or enlarge the screen, please? Could you enlarge it?
Enlarge it. Hey Brian, how do you enlarge it?
Because I am copying the questions. That's all.
Traction,
I think we
transition, and growth is the head.
And then
And then how do you get a grip? How do you get a grip?
How do you get a grip?
Grip.
GR.
And how do you take off?
get a grip.
Grip.
Well, I'm very sorry about the quality of the copy. What I'll do is, I will email you. Or
Thank you.
We'll make it available online. Either whichever makes sense for you. Like if you give me your email, I will email it to you, or we'll have it online so that you can download it.
you need a call.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks.
Okay, so any questions on that? We have 10 blocks. Now these are the building blocks of your business. I think it makes a lot more sense to your questions now, right? Because the whole business has to fit together, right? We are not just focusing on our things, okay? So it makes sense, right? Maybe valuation and funding, you probably don't worry about too much. I mean, you should definitely do valuation and funding, but when you're meeting with investors, and when they agree to fund your business, they will pretty much give you their own term sheet. And it will blow your mind. It's going to be completely different from what you make. But you should know, I mean, that negotiation stage is very challenging, and we will be doing a lot of back and forth negotiation to, how you value the business and how much you should receive and what kind of equity you might be wanting to give. So that's.
Are you discussing that too?
No, probably not, but I just wanted to let you know because in this, it's going to be not easy to do it today, that's why I brought it up.
But there will be some training about it.
Well, if you want by demand, if you want it, we can have a session.
Yeah. Because the technical terms
There's a
for
lot.
dealing with investors, we need to know. And for me myself, yeah, it would help.
Okay.
So this valuation funding valuation will be showing your business plan, or
Money.
it's through discussion with the investors.
Well, you will have, like before you meet with the investor, you will have some general sense of what the value of your business is. And you will do it, there are many ways of doing it. One simple way is benchmarking. But benchmarking can be tricky, but it's the easiest way. In the sense, you will look at another business
Similar to yours.
similar to yours, and you will see how much they're valued at.
Yeah.
But the challenging thing is you might get, if you overvalue your business, you will give away a lot more equity. You don't want to do that. So know your business, but undervalue your business. That's a very simple trick I can tell you.
Undervalue. Yeah,
Why
yeah.
not?
Yeah. I just want to repeat if I heard you clearly.
Yeah, if my business is valued at $100 and I'm going to the investor to get some equity for my business, maybe I might value it at $10.
Oh,
So that way I won't give away too much equity, right? It makes sense, right?
okay. Makes sense. Yeah, you still have 90%. You're giving only 10%.
Yeah. You can agree on the equity stake, what percentage, how much percentage, but it always makes sense to undervalue your business a bit so that you can get a better deal. So that's a challenge for benchmarking. There are a couple of other ways of doing it. You can use live data. We have a couple of data scientists. They will show you how to use data to value your business, and this data is based on if you're already making sales, you have a couple of customers, and you can project those numbers to get a sense of how much revenue you can make, what kind of growth you can achieve, and using those numbers you can. It's a slightly better way, like for businesses that have already reached some levels of they have a certain number of customers. So that's a slightly better way, and investors value that a lot. Like if you have customers, investors will value your business a lot better than rather than just having a product that's ready to pick up.
Good.
Okay.
Thank you.
Okay.
Yeah.
So let's write a couple of pitches. So we have a volunteer here, and he'll talk about his business, and all of us will try to think about a pitch for him so that he can get money for his business.
Thanks, guys. So where should I start?
Or-
From opportunity or?
Okay, yeah. Let's start with the opportunity.
Okay. Well, I guess my opportunity was when I did some research. Actually, let me start with the blog.
Okay, start with the problem. Yeah.
So, first of all, I like to travel myself. So I've been to a lot of places in China, some countries in Europe. So when I have some vacation or some free days, for example, I want to go to Italy, and I just have some vague idea. Okay, Italy and Rome is a good place to go, but where should I go? Something else, or in Rome, where should I go? What attractions? So I have to spend a lot of time doing some research to see, okay, what other people's go, right? And maybe to review their documentations, for example, they write some itineraries or their reviews on some attractions. So it's really time consuming, and also I have to book an airplane, book the train, book the car rental, hotel, a lot of things, and try to find a minimum expense package that I can afford to. So to me, the problem is it's too much work to do. People just want to go somewhere, maybe spend a week or two there. So then I found an opportunity. So I can do it by providing the travelers some service. We gather a lot of information online, and then we apply some machine learning algorithms to help them to find their perfect or customized attractions and itineraries. And when I did some research on like the competitors, at that time, about 2 years ago, I found some company in Europe that providing a very similar service, but the thing is they didn't use machine learning techniques. Instead, they're using travel agents. So behind their platform, there are hundreds, thousands of agents. So for example, if you want to go to Italy again, you have to contact them, and some of the agents will help you. And I found this way it's hard to scale up. You know, for example, this is all about the manpower, man hours. So if you just want to open a company of 10 people and you're sitting there, doing some service for maybe 10,000 people out there, machine learning or algorithms is the way. Otherwise, you have to spend a lot of money hire those agents, right? So I think
it's not only lengthy, but it's also it consumes a lot of more resources.
Yeah, exactly. So not only human goes out of office or whatever, so many stuff.
Operation cost.
Yeah. So think about your own customer journey. Like I'm guessing everybody enjoys traveling, right? At least occasionally, and we like to go and see places. But the whole process of that, the moment you start thinking, okay, I want to go somewhere, and then from that time to actually having a ticket in your hands, that is the customer journey we are talking about in this case. So that's the customer journey. It's tedious, it's lengthy, and it's unorganized. And like you said, there's a lot of people who are behind that process. And like as you go from one travel agent to another, they will recommend you different, they'll try to make your itinerary, the travel.
The cost is different as well.
The cost is different as well.
Yeah.
So, and the main challenge is it's very lengthy, and there's a lot more people involved.
And the time,
Yeah.
return time is too long because you will wait other from another, and which one is cheaper. You have to wait it.
Yeah, exactly.
Exactly. So and the solution is to do it on a platform. So the platform is pretty much you go online, and then you're going to input your what you want to do, interest, maybe location.
Yeah, so the idea is to create a one-stop shop. So you go to the website, you tell us, okay, where do you want to go and how many days roughly do you want to spend, and what's your preference? For example, you want to see more about natural, you want to do a lot of outside, like outdoor sports, adventures, or you just want to stay in a hotel, relaxing, some spa or good food. So based on this information, we use some algorithms to recommend you attraction list.
Okay.
And you can select multiple attractions you want, and based on what you have chosen, we create an itinerary, a route for you. So the idea is to save your time doing some research, but also save your real travel time when you're actually in that place. So our route will guarantee that you spend minimum amount of time or close to minimum. And once you reach the place, it's always open. So it's not like you want to go to, for example, Toronto Zoo, but once you reach there, oh, there's something, some event or whatever, that the zoo is closed. So
Updated.
Is there also an option to choose the locations or the geographical, how many miles from the airport or from the location, from the place you want?
well,
Let's say I want to choose a hotel, and let's say I prefer 10 minutes from the airport or from my venue. You know what I mean? They
Yeah.
want that too.
yeah. So we have a map. So on that map, you can see all locations of the attractions.
Okay.
Also, we haven't done that yet, but we basically integrate Booking.com service. So ideally, you can also see the location of different hotels on that map. So you can decide, okay, this hotel is very close to Rome
Yeah.
or Seattle or whatever, right?
I think the challenge there is the source of information, where you got it from, and how reliable it is.
Right, so
The
we
update.
use a lot of Google
Yeah.
and also multiple websites. We gather a lot of information.
It
So you're right, the challenge is how would you gather
Yeah.
the information?
Unlike having like real people on that specific area and you're gonna like coordinate with them, they can really provide you like actual feedback, actual costs, right? But if
Right.
you do things on the internet, sometimes like people will just publish something and
Right.
the process
And
is
fake.
different and it's not gonna be as
Yes,
reliable.
it's a fake information, and because
Yeah.
they're not updated, there's something that was
Or it's
been,
not updated,
you know, information was 2 years back,
Yeah.
and you will go there, the building is already gone. So that is the challenge.
That's
If
also-
we will rely it on Google or internet, if we are, let's say, we will have
We
to
have to-
market
yeah.
from other far places.
Yeah. So there's more business for me, right? Technical communication.
Well, I think even though you're dealing with or partnering with other travel agency, you cannot guarantee the information they provide is 100% accurate.
Exactly.
So we actually add some feedback system. So say if you go to our website and you see, okay, this information is not correct, you can always click on a button and leave us a message and we will review it.
Do you also does the platform is designed to pull out most common, let's say the year 2017, something like that, because that is most reliable.
So there's two ways. There are two ways. One way is we have some updating system, like you said, and the other thing is we use some scoring system. For example, you go to TripAdvisor or Google, right? There's some scoring for based on some popularity or highest review score, something like that. And we are keeping updating that as well as our algorithms to make it more relevant.
So here the idea is platform. So it's pretty much make the solution, you know, the problem solving approach. Like instead of going to many different agents doing your own search, you're pretty much go to one platform.
And one platform,
Right.
but the source is still different websites,
Yeah.
or like Booking.com,
Yeah.
TripAdvisor,
Yes. Yeah.
and any other selling online,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah.
platform too. We
Yeah.
just integrate this
Right.
into his bucket,
Yeah.
and boom,
Yeah.
it's just display this one.
Yeah.
Which is, if the Booking.com
collapse, you will be also collapse, and TripAdvisor is also collapse.
I think the travel industry, they have a couple of different platforms, and I mean the redundancy, I mean it's kind of, all of them will not fail at the same time. Your prices may vary a bit if one platform collapses, but I think there are a couple of different platforms, and most agencies, they rely on information that's coming through that, the platform. It's not a platform as an online platform, but it's pretty much a system of all the stakeholders in that industry, and they rely on the data from that. They pull data from that system. So now the online medium, it has opened up that whole space to make it more efficient. So the process is going to be more efficient in the sense there is going to be the information, like you said, there are ways to make sure that the information is credible and reliable and up to date. So I think those aspects can be taken care of. I mean, that's also one reason why people should not be using. I mean, people will slowly move away from Google. That's for sure. I think because all the techies are building very good solutions, and Google probably realizes that. So
yeah, Google will be garbage.
Yeah, useless.
Well, it's still a very useful.
Yes, still a very useful. Because we don't have options. We don't have the options, right?
To be clear, I don't value my product or my platform, the integration of information. My selling point is actually the machine learning algorithms behind it. So, but in order to do that, you have to gather a lot of information, right? But those Google, TripAdvisor, Booking.com, they are all our tools. For example, if you said, okay, on Sunday, Booking.com collapsed, I can just switch to another booking, hotel booking partner, right? It's very easy.
Okay. I think let's start. Let's try to write a pitch now. Now, you guys, I think you have a pretty good idea of what his business is doing. So they want to help people go places, discover places, without having the pain. The pain in that process is having to go to different agents at the time, and the whole process of actually finding. And some people may even get so exhausted by the whole process they may abandon that trip, right? So you only need to know where you want to go and what kind of fun you want to have. Let's say you want to go to Italy and you want to see what's a good place in Italy? I haven't never been to Italy.
Rome.
Yeah, Rome. The ancient.
Cathedral.
All those ancient structures. Yeah. So pretty much a consumer has to go onto their platform and just key in those keywords like Italy or maybe Rome, wants to see a certain type of architecture or certain era, learn about those kings of that time, and then the time frame of the journey, like this is a window when I want to go there. So I think these three are probably the main inputs, and the algorithm is going to pretty much churn all the data and find a whole list of things that you could do, and you can actually pick them depending on how long you want to stay. And so that's the solution. So how do we write a pitch for this in, let's say, less than maybe less than 100 words? So that's the first overview. What's your story? So what I'm thinking is, discover the world intuitively. I mean, it's a starting point. Let's build on this. Does it make sense? Sure. Discover the world intuitively. And we can add a couple of more words to make it more evident that customers, they don't suffer through the process of actually having to do all the research. So any ideas?
Is an ordinary person could understand intuitively.
Okay, that's a good point.
Because we will not limit our market into high-tech people.
Okay.
Normally, the business logo or even this tagline must be natural language.
Yes, it's very, very easy to understand.
Yes.
Okay. How about travel smart?
Or I can like travel in a click, because I think he's looking to like how fast you can get the information by going through internet. So I don't know. Like through his.
But he said already, one-stop travel.
Yeah, that's a good one. Yeah.
He said
It's a very simple one.
Yeah. He said it's his heart. When I am listening to him, that's why I'm very particular in listening to every you deliver it because I have to understand it in the way you say it. It's one stop.
Yeah.
See? Follow the one stop.
Now,
Yes.
do you think one stop is a buzzword that has been used by other businesses?
Yeah.
It has been used a lot.
Yeah.
So do you think you want to move away from buzzwords? Make your idea stand out a little bit?
I think we should focus on emphasize on the concept of customization.
Yeah, definitely customization. I think this gives me another idea. We could build a platform for writing pitches.
Yeah.
You put in your business idea and the platform will generate ideas for us with
That's a good idea.
machine learning.
Wow.
I can definitely help with the natural language processing.
Okay, want to do this, you guys?
Yes.
You want to? This could be a venture. This could be our venture.
Yeah,
I don't know.
And I want to propose very good one, which I don't know if you are interested that all of us to participate in.
Okay, you will be the next volunteer.
No.
Let's finish this one.
No, it's just a venture after that. You will like it.
Okay, let's finish it. Yeah, he suggested customization. And
And
so
like the idea of find your own tour guide.
okay.
That is also a buzzword.
So
Customization
in
everywhere.
So what is the opportunity in his business idea?
The opportunity that you
We
mentioned.
can go one by one. What is the opportunity? Is in there?
I think you wanted to say something about
Oh yeah, like you already mentioned the opportunity that he already looked into is to not to get into all those hassle of like coordinating with everyone.
Isn't that the problem? That's a problem.
I think that's where he found the opportunity. Like he found the opportunity there for customers not to go through those hassles.
Well, yeah, I think problems and opportunities they're together, right? You find something, and okay, there's an opportunity for you.
Yeah, I'm going to speed things a little bit because we have time until 4. Like we have this place until 4. Now, one interesting way would be to find a name for the platform. So you can add that name. Let's say.
Oh, I already have a name.
You're not saying it. It's proprietary. Is it?
No, it's just for you to brainstorm or
Brainstorm.
come up with your own idea.
Okay.
I tell you a name.
Yeah, the name could be the starting point. Let's say Raj is a provider of technical communication services. So that same way, this platform makes your journey easier, shorter, smarter. Make your journey smart with, smart journey with, travel smart with Raj, something like that.
Discover the world.
Raj.
Yeah,
Travel easy with Raj.
Yeah, travel easy with Raj, or
Discover the world.
discover the world with Raj. Okay. Well, and we have to add the machine learning side of it to AI because I think it's one of the most important ingredients of the solution. So the smart side of it, we have to find a way to replace the smartness with AI or machine learning. So how do you suggest? What do you think?
Well, I use some words like smart, intelligent, but actually help customers to make their own machineries in a very efficient way. I think efficient, this word can reflect something. Why is it efficient? So we use some model like algorithms to recommend you like the attractions you are supposed to like or has high potential for you to pick, and also make the route for you to save your time. So there are some intelligence areas in this platform.
Okay, yeah, definitely. So tell us where you want to do, or tell us what you want to do, and let us do the rest. Now this us, we replace it with something with, instead of this, we have something that has AI in it. So the AI could be like, a name like Smart Alex, or, that's another way of, incorporating that AI part of it into the name. So a name can symbolize a lot of things, like, so Alex, or, some name that represents, machine smartness or artificial intelligence, and that's very well known in the culture. So that's one way of saying it. So tell us what you want to do, and let Raj help you, or build your itinerary, or build your travel plan smartly. Since we have a very small time frame, we are not coming to an ideal pitch, but I think as you work on it, we will come to it pretty fast. Like, within a couple of days, you can pretty much find a very good pitch. So the idea you need to convey the idea, what you're doing differently, what's the value proposition, and how you're doing it. Okay. So does it make sense?
Yes.
Okay. How about another volunteer?
Thank you, guys.